Howdy, folks. Gather around here in Overton County and all you fine folks in the surrounding hills.
Hey there.
Come on up to the porch, grab a sweet tea, because we're about to take ourselves a real thoughtful deep dive today.
Sounds like a plan.
We're going to chew on the wisdom of Baba Ram Dass, you know. A spiritual teacher whose way of seeing things feels like it could sprout roots right here in our Tennessee soil.
Oh, absolutely.
Whether you're fishing on Dale Hollow or just sitting quiet on your land out in Pall Mall.
It truly is remarkable how his insights into the human heart and spirit feel so timeless, universal, really, resonating just as deeply here in the Upper Cumberland as they do anywhere else.
That's the honest truth. For this here deep dive, we've been looking over some good learning notes and such from Baba Ram Dass's teaching.
Yeah, especially from his Here and Now talks.
Right. We're aiming to understand his thoughts on, well, the energy that flows through us, how we connect with one another.
And this big, beautiful idea of oneness.
Yeah, that too.
And our aim, I think, is to truly unpack these ideas, you know, not just skim the surface.
Right.
And see how they might offer a fresh perspective on our own lives, our experiences right here in our community.
Exactly. Our mission today, as I see it, is to take these sometimes mind-stretching ideas and see if we can find some, well, down-to-earth meaning right here in Overton County. Maybe we can uncover some aha moments that'll help us navigate our relationships, understand ourselves a little better.
Find a bit more peace.
Yeah, find a bit more peace in our day-to-day living.
And it's important to remember, I think, even when he uses unfamiliar terms, the core wisdom he shares often echoes the values we know well.
Like compassion.
Compassion, connection, understanding, things that have always been important in our Southern traditions, right?
For sure. All right, now let's wade right into this first notion. The dance of sexual energy.
Okay.
Baba Ram Dass talked about how this ain't just about the physical side of things, but a real current of energy moving between people. Now, what does that truly mean for us, do you reckon?
Well, what's fascinating is his perspective that this energy, particularly in intimate relationships, can become a pathway.
A pathway.
To what? To deeper connection. He speaks of Tantra as a way to consciously engage with this energy, not just for physical release, but as a means of liberation, even spiritual growth.
Liberation, you say. So when this energy comes from a deeper place, from the heart maybe, instead of just the head, it can set us free. How's that work itself out, practically speaking?
Think of it this way. He describes a dance of 2 to 1 to 2 to 1.
Okay.
When two people come together with open hearts and awareness, their individual energies kind of merge, creating this shared space, oneness. Then they return to their individual selves, but like enriched by that experience. It's a continuous flow.
Like the coming together and flowing apart of the waters where the Obey meets the Cumberland River.
Exactly like that. That's a perfect analogy for it. The mixing, then separating, but changed.
That paints a real clear picture. Now, he also talked about lust being different from this liberating sexuality. What's the real difference there? Kind of contrasted him.
He did. He contrasts this liberating flow with lust, which he describes as approaching another person as an object.
An object.
Yeah, like to fulfill a personal fantasy or some need you have. In that scenario, instead of a liberating exchange of energy, there's a sense of being caught or kind of heavy afterwards, because the focus is on taking, not sharing.
So it's about seeing the other person as a whole human being, not just a way to satisfy something in ourselves.
Precisely. Liberating sexuality, according to his teachings, arises from a place of shared awareness.
Shared awareness.
A mutual presence, a deep respect for the other person, and a sense of spaciousness, where those ego-driven desires kind of take a backseat to genuine connection.
Spaciousness.
It is about the heart being open alongside the physical connection.
That makes a powerful kind of sense. Now let's talk about living from abiding love. He said we should try to find that love and compassion right inside ourselves. Like it's the very foundation, the fabric of who we are. How do we tap into that when we're feeling, empty or disconnected?
That's the crucial question, isn't it? He suggests that this love isn't something we need to constantly chase outside of ourselves.
Right.
But rather something to uncover within. Think of it like a spring that's always there, deep underground.
Okay.
And our work is to clear away the debris, stuff that's blocking its flow.
Like clearing the leaves and brush off a spring up in the hills so the water can run free. So how do we do that inner clearing, so to speak?
Well, he emphasized practices like mindfulness, meditation, just paying attention to our inner state, really.
Yeah, just noticing.
Yeah. By becoming more aware of our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we can begin to identify the patterns that, obscure that natural wellspring of love and compassion. It's about recognizing the inherent goodness within ourselves and others.
It reminds me of the neighborly kindness we see around here. When someone's in need in Jamestown or Wilder.
Oh, yeah. Folks just step up to help, not expecting nothing in return. It comes from that shared sense of humanity, that inner something.
Exactly. It's that innate human capacity for empathy and connection that he's pointing towards. A love that flows from our being, not dependent on external circumstances.
Now, he also talked about the layer of unknowing, this idea that there are just some things, like death or the divine, that we ain't meant to fully understand.
Yeah.
It's hard to just not know, huh?
Absolutely. There's a certain peace, I think, that comes with accepting the limits of our intellect. Trying to grasp everything with our minds can actually create more anxiety, more confusion.
It's like looking out at the stars on a clear night up on the plateau. You know there's a whole universe out there, but your mind can't truly take it all in.
Right.
There's a mystery to it, and maybe that's okay.
Precisely. Embracing that layer of unknowing can free us from the need for absolute certainty. It allows us to appreciate the mystery and wonder of life.
Yeah, trusting in something larger than ourselves, even if we can't fully define it.
Now, this felt real important. He talked about how to handle all the troubles we see in the world, these astral scenarios and worrisome predictions.
Oh, yes.
He didn't seem to think we should get too caught up in all that, did he?
No, his perspective was that focusing too much on those distant or potential problems can distract us.
Distract us from?
From the present moment, where we actually have the power to make a difference.
He pretty much said the best thing to do is to quiet my mind, open my heart, and act in a way to relieve suffering right here and now. That feels like something folks around Birdstown and Alark would understand, taking care of what's in front of you.
It's a very practical approach, isn't it? And empowering. Instead of getting overwhelmed by global issues, we can focus on cultivating inner peace and acting with kindness and compassion right where we are, in our immediate sphere.
He also touched on the idea of self-work, how each of us is working on ourselves through our daily lives, dealing with our own stuff. What he called our karma.
Right, karma.
That's the big picture there.
He saw life as a continuous journey of learning and growth. Our experiences, both the good and the, challenging ones, offer opportunities to work through our limitations and evolve spiritually. Karma, in this context, is kind of the unfolding of those lessons through our actions and their consequences.
So it's like every day is a chance to learn and grow, to smooth out some of those rough edges.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the goal of all that self-work, he said, is to become more pure so our actions help others instead of hindering them.
Liberate them.
Exactly. As we become more aware of our own inner workings, our own stuff, we can act with greater intention and less reactivity.
Less reactivity.
Leading to more positive and, liberating interactions with others.
Now, this story he told about that marriage ceremony was something else.
Oh, wow, yes. The groom confessing infidelity right there in the middle of things. What was the takeaway from that, do you think? That was intense.
It really was. That raw and unexpected moment really highlighted the immense challenge, yet the profound importance of radical honesty.
Radical honesty.
In our closest relationships. It forces us to confront the truth, even when it's deeply uncomfortable.
And he talked about having a little bit of space for each other, even when things get tough. What did he mean by that space?
That space is like a buffer, maybe. A recognition that we are all imperfect human beings.
We all mess up.
We inevitably make mistakes, yeah. It allows for compassion and understanding, even in the face of hurt or conflict. It's about not letting our anger or judgment completely consume the connection.
So it's about remembering that shared humanity, that underlying oneness we talked about, even when we're disagreeing or hurting, that the relationship itself is bigger than the individual bumps in the road.
Precisely. It's about holding on to the awareness of our interconnectedness, even when we're experiencing separateness or conflict. Keeping that bigger picture in mind.
Then he got into collective consciousness, the idea that what happens in the world is a reflection of all of us together.
Yeah, that's a big thought.
It is.
It suggests that our individual thoughts, beliefs, actions, they all collectively contribute to the larger reality we experience.
So it implies, what, shared responsibility?
A deep interconnectedness and a shared responsibility, yes, for the state of the world.
And he didn't shy away from the hard parts, talking about bearing the unbearable and the dark night of the soul.
No, he didn't. That letter he wrote about the loss of that young woman, Rachel, was powerful.
So powerful.
That letter offered such a profound perspective on grief, suggesting that even the most intense pain can be transformative.
How so?
He spoke of it as a purifying process, and that their love for Rachel continues as her legacy in their hearts and actions.
He said that when we go through something truly heart-wrenching, something inside us can feel like it's dying, but that it can open us up to see and love from a deeper, almost divine place. It makes you think about the resilience of folks right here in our own communities when they face loss.
It really does. It's an acknowledgement that profound suffering can break us open, in ways that allow for deeper empathy and a more profound understanding of love and connection.
Now, shifting gears a bit, he shared some joyful poems about growing older.
Oh, I love those.
About not worrying so much about what others think and just enjoying life, even if you're wearing purple with a red hat or something.
Yes. Those poems celebrate the freedom and liberation that can come with age, shedding societal constraints and embracing the simple joys.
It made me think about how our way of thinking about older folks is maybe changing.
How so?
Moving from seeing them as maybe less capable to honoring their wisdom, like he said. Moving from a hunting tribe to being a gathering tribe.
Ah, I like that.
That feels right with the respect we have for our elders around here, don't you think?
It really does. It's a recognition of the invaluable experience and perspective that our elders bring to our communities, gathering that wisdom.
He also told about Hanuman, that figure from the Ramayana. Sounded like Baba Ram Dass had a real connection to him.
Oh, deeply. Hanuman embodies selfless service and devotion, absolute devotion.
And he achieves incredible strength and power, right? But not through ego.
No, exactly the opposite. Through his complete surrender to the divine, to Ram in the story.
He became a pure instrument, doing amazing things by getting out of his own way, so to speak.
Perfectly put.
And isn't it something that Baba Ram Dass's own name means servant of God?
It really is.
Showing that same path of service leading to that oneness, that feels like the spirit of helping out your neighbors we see so much of in Overton County.
It highlights the transformative power of selfless action. How focusing on serving others can lead to a deeper connection with something larger than ourselves. It takes you beyond yourself.
And just briefly, he touched on this idea from the Dying Project, related to the Tibetan Book of the Dead.
Right.
Yeah.
The dying might not be the end.
Yeah, about how dying might not be the end we think, but maybe even a doorway to something else, a form of awakening.
It's a challenging perspective, but it invites us to reconsider our fear of death and to see it as a potential transition in the ongoing journey of consciousness.
A transition. Now listen up, good folks, right here in Overton County.
Yeah, listen in.
This ain't just something to think about, Baba Ram Dass talked about opening our hearts and helping folks who are hurting.
Putting it into practice.
Right. So this week, I'm putting out a call to each and every one of you. Find one small way right here in our own neck of the woods.
Just one thing.
Yeah, maybe lending a hand to a neighbor down in Livingston, spending some time with folks at the senior center in Cookeville, or just offering a genuine smile and a kind word to someone you see in need in Birdstown.
Simple things.
Just one little thing to put some of this love and compassion into action right here at home. Let's see if we can spread a little extra goodness, one small act at a time. Ripple it out.
That's a truly meaningful way to bring these teachings to life, right where we are. Beautiful call to action.
We'd sure love to hear how these ideas sit with you all. Leave us a comment, tell us what struck a chord, maybe share this with someone you think might find some comfort or insight in it.
Yeah, your reflections and experiences can add so much to our collective understanding of these profound teachings. We learn from each other.
We sure do. And if you found something worthwhile in this deep dive, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next time we unpack some wisdom for your journey.
Every step we take towards understanding and compassion, it really enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. It matters.
It truly does. Now, let's send out a little something for all beings everywhere. May they be filled with peace. May they be free from suffering. May they know the love that resides within.
Amen to that.
And a whole heap and helping of love and gratitude to Baba Ram Dass for shining his light so bright.
Thank you, Ram Dass.
Y'all be good to one another now. Take care.